G'day guys, how's it going? Alright, in this video it's all about this thing that sits on top of the fender of my DR650, who I call MAX. Now it's a mini air compressor. A lot of people have been asking, seeing it sitting there and wondering what it is. So now I'm going to show you. I'll pull it out. We'll actually drop these bloody tyres to 0, pump them up, see how this particular thing works. There's also two versions. There's an expensive version, a cheap version. In my eyes, I don't think there's much of a difference between the two. I think they're pretty much identical, and it's just the labeling on them. We actually sell both. I've got a couple over there which I'm going to show you. We sell both. One's a branded, one's a non-brand, and I'll run through some of that stuff. Righto. Now before I get into opening this up and showing, obviously this is not the only way. This is what I run. I run it in any of my bikes that I have. If I'm going on a trip, I always make sure I've got a way of pumping up the tyres for whatever reason. But there are, you've got hand pumps, foot pumps, all different types of air compressor pumps that run off your 12 volt. There are the compressed air canisters. I know Alistair loves using that on his KTM 1090. That's all he just carries, those little canisters. It's your personal preference. I'm just showing you what I use. Rightio, so a lot of the guys in the Enduro, this is quite a common setup. Normally they will have straps that come down and clip onto your fender. I've got a fender brace and I'm just running gotcha straps. So the way I've done it is just basically, I try and make things as simple as possible. So bang, I've got that out. You'll notice that that's that non-stick stick matting. When it's on there, it can, although it's not at the moment, it can get a bit like that. So this just alleviates that slippage. Rightio, so this bag is just, it's like one of those molly bag type things. Got it off the internet, eBay or whatever. So this isn't part of the actual compressor bag. So I've just used that. It gives it extra protection because basically it sits on there and I just forget about it. Never take it off unless I'm going to need it to put it in the other bike. Anyway, wrap it in a Ziploc bag, protect it from the elements. Even if your bag says that it's waterproof, it never hurts just to have that little backup. Because this is electronic, you don't want water getting into it. So this is the Stop and Go mini air compressor. Now remember, I'm going to show you the two different versions of it. I've run both of them, never had a problem with them. So that's it there. Simple. Got your little long bloody cable. There are also alligator clips in there if you don't have a little socket thing. So that's it. Pull that out of there. You've got that. What else? We've got other little, if you've got a football or a basketball you need bloody blowing up, you can use this as well. Now obviously this is not for doing car tyres. This is perfect for motorbikes because of the amount of air that's got to go in. If you try and pump up a car tyre, it'll do it, but it'll take a bloody long time to do it. Rightio, so I just want to quickly, for those of you that are maybe looking at buying a mini air compressor, listen to this part of it. Otherwise, skip to where we start getting into pumping up the tyre. We sell both of these. That is the Stop and Go one. That is the no brand. When we first started selling the mini air compressor, it was this, but it was called Tomcat. That company here in Australia went bust, weren't selling them anymore, and then all of a sudden we found that there was a no brand. The more I delved into it, I've come to the understanding that these are identical, made most probably in the same factory. Tomcat just gets theirs coloured, branded. I've seen ones, same thing but in the UK. Why I'm telling you this, I suppose, is because we sell that for $79.95. We've got to get, all this stuff comes in overseas and we're paying US dollars and then the Australian dollar and all that, but $79.95, $39.95. So that's a big difference between the two. I believe the that coming out of the same factory. That's the same thing. The only advantage is that, you know, you've got a brand behind this one. If something was to happen, you could most probably get in contact with the brand and you get some support. Whereas that one, if it breaks, you just throw it in the bin and go and get another one. Righto. So now that I've got that out of the way, let's have a look at these two. So this is the Tomcat, not the Tomcat, it's the Stop and Go. Boom, straight out. The No brand, straight out. That's just a A4 sheet of instructions. So the No brand one. Tomcat. This is just a notice saying something about the light and it's not for cars and trucks and all that kind of stuff. So as you can see, all this stuff here is pretty much identical. Oh no, it's not. Oh, look at that. There is actually a bit of a difference there. Wow. I wonder whether these have changed a little bit, because they used to be bloody, or these might have upgraded a little bit. There's your little extra bits and pieces there, which is normally tucked in there, which is that one's got that. But when you look at this, these two, hopefully you're getting all this side by, and if I had stuck that back in there, but yeah. These are identical. It's just the colours, the logo, the dial. So obviously, there's a spot for the logo on there. They've just upgraded their little A4 sheet, put their logo on it. It says made in China. Bags are identical, except that one's got the logo on it. So there you go. I think you get the idea there, guys. Let's go and test it out. Rightio, let's let the air out of the tyre. I'm going to remove this valve. Rightio, valve removed. We'll hook this on. Grab this, whack it into your cigarette lighter Duvalaki thing, pop that in there. You see the little lights come on, turn her on. Actually, I better set a timer. Righto, so what was that, 1 minute 50 to get to 25 PSI, which is all I'd ever put in the front. Obviously on the back I'd most probably go 30, obviously depending on whatever. As you can see, does the job. Better check to see whether that gauge works against my other gauge. Bloody ripper. So yeah, there you go. Gauge works, it pumped the bloody tyre up. What else was there? Oh, so normally if I was out in the middle of nowhere, I'd most probably have the bike running so it didn't drain the battery. Doing that small amount of stuff, that's not going to worry this battery on this bike. No problems, but just for the sake of noise and all this on the video, I didn't worry about turning that engine on. Cool bananas! Once you're done, guys, just whack your thing back on there. The old wonderful, beautiful bloody gotcha straps. Strap her on. Nice and simple, not rooting around in bloody bottoms of bags. And that's it, that ain't going anywhere. Well, there you go, guys. So that is my mini air compressor that I just sit on the front fender. Just forget about it. It's there if I need it, or it's there if someone else needs it. Now, I'm running the what is it? The stop and go on this one. I did have the other one. I've crossed over to this. Obviously, when I buy stuff, I like to test the stuff. So my other orange one, Matt has that. So that's why I'm running that one. If I wasn't selling this particular one, I would be still having my orange one, and it'd be still bloody running today. Now, here's a pro tip. If you buy something like this brand new, or it's I don't know, a camping stove setup, whether it's a jet boil or whatever it is, always remember, don't just go get it new, chuck it in me pack, and I'll bloody use it when I'm out there. Always test stuff. So if you get one of these, test it before you go out on a trip, because as we know in this day and age, things made in China in bloody mass production, there are always dodgies that come through the system. And me being a seller of stuff like that, we do get those. Every now and then someone will ring up and say, Mark, this isn't bloody working, whether it's the stove and the adapter. And sometimes it's a dodgy, sometimes I know with the stove adapters they don't understand it anyway. But you do get dodgies. Obviously if it's a dodgy one, boom, don't worry about it. We send it straight out to you. But yeah, always test stuff before you get out there, because you don't want something not working when you're out there, if you know what I mean. Shut up, Mark, bloody hell. Righto guys, remember, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.